What's going on, everybody? Today I want to talk about The Mandalorian Chapter 13. This is the episode, we've been waiting for pretty much the entire series. Uh, you know, in the first, as soon as the episode opens up, you see Ahsoka there on that forest moon. I don't even remember what they called it. So you see her, and she's in this foggy forest. Um, it looks like a very polluted planet. I don't know, they didn't elaborate on that, but that's just what I thought about it. Um, so you see her, and she turns on her white lightsabers, and she cuts through a guy, and then she turns them back off, and then she does that about like 6 or 7 times, and she mows through them. This scene, it looked pretty cool, but every time she had to turn on both her lightsabers and pose for a second, and then she would cut them in half. It did get a little repetitive. This is Dave Filoni, who wrote and directed this episode, by the way. He definitely did better this episode than he did for the episode he directed last season. I think last season was the one on Tatooine when he goes and helps that one dude shoot another, like collect a bounty or something like that. I think that was him. So she kills all of the guards outside this fortress looking thing. And then she walks up to the front gate, and then she tells some lady holding a spear. She says she wants to. She says that the lady knows what she wants, what Ahsoka wants, and tell her where it is. And then the lady in charge of the compound says, if you come any closer, we're gonna kill civilians. And Ahsoka's like, I don't care. And then she says, you have a day to decide. Or Ahsoka says that, and then she walks off. And then it cuts to the intro, and then you see Mando bringing the Razor Crest in, and he lands, walks up to the city, goes in, walks through the city, and then he gets taken by the guards up to, I think they call her the Magistrate. So he walks in there, and she says, I want you to kill this Jedi that's plaguing us. I know you're a Mandalorian, one of the sworn enemies of the Jedi, which, not technically true. There's Death Watch that didn't like the Jedi, that wanted to restore the way of Mandalore, which is basically he's the dude who pioneered the way of the Mandalorians, so the ancient the ancient Mandalorians that fought with the Jedi, that's who they would basically worship, and they call the king of Mandalore. So there's definitely been Mandalorians that wanted to fight Jedi, but most of Mandalore was peaceful because of Dave Filoni. So there's a lot of from a certain point of view in this series, really, but anyway, enough about that. Mando's like, my price is high, so she motions her robot servant guard person thing, and walks over and hands the spear to her, and then she hands it to Mando, and he realizes that it's pure Beskar. So there's a giant spear made out of Beskar, and he hands it back to her, and he's like, "Where can I find her?" And then it cuts to him walking out. Oh yeah, and he has the child slung in his like he has like a man purse or something, and the child's like peeking out. And for somebody that, the Empire is after him. Like there's not a bounty on him anymore, but the Empire is after him, or whatever's left of it. And he's just walking around town with the the person that um, would bring the most attention to him. That would that your entire mission is to keep him safe. It's a little frustrating, but like one dude even like looks at him as he's walking out, and he's like, "What is that?" Amanda's like, I just keep it around for good luck." And he walks out of the city gates, and then you cut to him deep in the forest. And he's looking at this giant like tree eating thing, like dinosaur looking thing. They didn't give him a name, but and I don't know what it would be in canon, but uh, so Mando sees one of those things, and he like puts up a whatever the singular of binocular is. Uh, so he's like looking in the distance, and he has Baby Yoda sitting on a rock, and then he's like, "Oh, it's nothing." And then Ahsoka jumps out with both her lightsabers and attacks him. And it's clear that she wanted to kill him, which it doesn't make a lot of sense because, she was friends with Bo-Katan. She was friends with, uh, several other Mandalorians, both in Clone Wars and in Rebels, which were both Dave Filoni projects. So why she would just jump and try and kill somebody, that's wearing the armor of, some of her close friends, people that she's worked with for decades. It didn't make a lot of sense. Um, you could argue that she knew that he was wearing Beskar, but the way she attacked, like she slashes like that, like she was coming down for, coming for the next shot that she's used to like cut off Mandalorians' heads, because she did do that in Clone Wars, and I don't know if she did that in Rebels or not. Rebels was a lot more kid friendly, so so she doesn't stop, or Mando like wraps her with the cord, uh, like the thing that was used in Episode 2 when Jango and Obi-Wan were fighting. And then there's the thing with him like slipping off the roof and all that. So he uses one of those, whatever it's called, I don't remember, and wraps her up. And then she jumps up on a tree and like pulls him up. So he cuts that off, and then they're at a stalemate. And he's like, "Wait! Bo-Katan sent me." He says her name and says like, "Wait, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan sent me." And then he's like, "Well, I hope you're wanting to talk about him." And she's pointing to Baby Yoda, the child. She probably would have seen him walking up to him as well. Which, like, okay, it looks cool. They definitely made a point to show that the Beskar could deflect the lightsaber. So, I'll save that to the end. But, yeah, so then Ahsoka sits down and is, like, looking at Baby Yoda, and they're, like, telepathically talking. And then you just see, like, the Mandalorian walking in the background, just pacing back and forth. And then he walks back up, and then Ahsoka's like, Grogu is from Coruscant at the Jedi Temple. And Mando's like, Grogu? She's like, yeah, that's his name. So we have Baby Yoda's name. It's Grogu. It doesn't seem like that name has been received very well. uh, introducing that he was from. Oh, they also take a shot at Rey, saying, she was trained, or that Baby Yoda was trained by many Jedi masters at the temple. That is kind of good, kind of bad. It just means there's another one Anakin missed, basically. Um, it introduces like a little hole, like who saved him. We don't know who saved him. I don't know how important that is. Um, there's been a lot of theories going around, like some saying Mace Windu survived his fall and saved Baby Yoda. Some saying, Darth Sidious just walked through the Jedi Temple and saved him. Some saying, Anakin spared him. No one really knows. I don't even think Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have thought that far. So he's 50 years old. Like he's probably not a clone. They say his memory goes dark after a while. So maybe like there's something about that. Maybe he was like being tortured and it just like blocked it out. Maybe that's why he has like the pull to the dark side that we saw in season 1 when he was force choking Cara Dune. But we don't know. We know his name is Grogu and he was at the Jedi Temple. I think someone said he was born in the same year as Anakin. So he's the same age as Anakin or he would be during this time. That might not be quite right. So then, let's see. Oh yeah, so Ahsoka wants to see if Baby Yoda has any Force powers. So she tries to do the rock back and forth, and Baby Yoda can't do it. So Mando takes out the little that thing that he keeps stealing from the Razor Crest cockpit, the little ball thing on one of the gear things, and Baby Yoda pulls it from his hand, and then Ahsoka's like, "Yeah, I can't train him. He has too much of an attachment to you. We know, I've seen what it can do to a fully trained Jedi Knight. Talking about Anakin, she still didn't call him a master. It's kind of funny. Uh, let's see. Then, and Mando is saying, even if has a pull to the dark side, wouldn't it be better to train him to resist it? And then Ahsoka says to that, it would be better just to try and let the powers fade. Let's see. Then after that, Mando and Ahsoka are talking. He brings up the magistrate paying him to kill her, and he's like, she turns back at him, and he like backs up a little bit, and he's like, "Well, I didn't agree to it." So then they make a plan. I thought they were gonna do the, like they do in A New Hope. Fake, arrest somebody and bring them up to the thing, and then break the handcuffs and start killing everybody. They did not. Ahsoka just starts killing everybody, and then she throws the shoulder plate that has the mud horn thing on there. She's like, the bounty hunter you sent after me failed. And then she actually walks down this huge empty empty walk road thing. They don't have any vehicles for this place, but I guess it's still a road. She walks down the main street all the way down. It would have to be I don't know. I don't even know. Probably a little less than a quarter of a mile, but it's still a huge empty area, and they just let her walk from the end all the way up to them. And then she says all that and throws it, and then they decide to shoot. it didn't quite make sense. Um, so then she starts jumping around and going into little back alley places, and she's taking out a lot of the guards. Um, the magistrate says like kill all these prisoners because they have them on the like shock things. And then at that moment Mando jumps down and kills two guards. The magistrate had already walked back into her place, so there's only like two guards there. Mando shoots them both, and then you see this dude that he talked to a little earlier trying to figure out where Ahsoka was. Um, you see him come out, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't shoot me!" And then he helps get down some of the people, and then you see someone else. I don't know who he is, but he was some famous actor. I didn't recognize him. Um, and they have like a showdown, in the on the main street, Um, so you see Mando, and he's like ready to hip fire, ready to draw. Uh, and then another dude has like some sort of rifle, and he's like slowly putting it down. And while that's happening, Ahsoka's like killed all the guards and jumped into where the magistrate is. And you can hear the faint like clinking of like swords and sword and Beskar. And then Ahsoka loses one of her lightsabers, and she puts it in her like that. Her method, that's the way she does it in the Clone Wars. Um, I mean, as somebody that's like messed around with some swords, like I took like one class. I'm not an expert, but I'm not completely uneducated. That's not a great one, but not a great way to have a sword. But I don't know. It is what it is. Um, that's the style that she's used to, so you can argue that. Um, let's see what. Oh, she knocks the spear down out of the magistrate's hand, and then she leans in real close, and you get a close up on her face, and she says, "All right, tell me where your master is. Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?" So there's the name drop. Um, you know, there. This Thrawn's not gonna. Ooh, excuse me. Thrawn's not gonna be in the Mandalorian season 3. Like most likely, he's not gonna be. That's gonna be the Ahsoka spinoff that they've been working on, that they've been planning. So like that seems to be what the Mandalorian is being. It's being the as actually Gary said this from Nerdrotic. That's a great channel. Go check it out. Um, he said Jon Favreau is using Mandalorian like he used Iron Man to start the MCU. So now they're using Mandalorian season 2 to jumpstart. Probably 2 other series, maybe more. Um, they've got a Boba Fett spinoff in the works. Uh, you know, now Bo-Katan is gonna go and take the Darksaber, which should have been a Mandalorian. Should have been a Mandalorian storyline. And now we've got the Ahsoka spinoff. So, yeah, I mean, anyway, so you don't hear what she says after that. It cuts. It cuts back to Mando, and you see the dude put the rifle on the ground, and then he tries to pull a pistol out from behind him. Mando kills him. And then 2 droids jump at Mando, and he turns on the roof and kills both of them. And then after that, it cuts to the next morning, and then they're all celebrating. They're all free. None of them died. Then, uh, then Mando's like, well, I guess you're gonna go train the child now. And then Ahsoka walks up to him with the spear, and she's like, here, have this Beskar that, it's your duty to take from any non-Mandalorians. And he's like, but I didn't complete the contract. I have a lot of problems with that. Your entire purpose, or not your entire purpose, one of your main goals is to keep the Beskar in the Mandalorians' hands. And you're just gonna turn down a whole spear. Like, there's a lot of metal in there, and you're just gonna turn it down. Like, why would you do that? Oh my goodness. Anyway, so Ahsoka makes him take it, and then he walks back to his ship. That one guy that the Mandalorian met was actually the town's leader. He nods to Ahsoka. Ahsoka nods to him. They go back to the party, and then Mando's back at his ship. He has Baby Yoda, and he's getting all like teary-eyed. Like, even through the helmet, you can hear him. He's like, "Come on, kid. It's time we part ways." He's like sniffling. I wonder if they actually made Pedro do that or what. So then Ahsoka shows up behind him, and she says, "Yeah, I can't train him." And the Mando's like, "Look, I upheld my part of the bargain. I took care of the magistrate for you. I helped you kill her." And then she's like, "Okay, go to Typhon and place Baby Yoda on the altar, and he can choose his own path. He'll reach out in the Force and call another Jedi, but there's not many Jedi left." And that's where the episode ends. So, the entire series has been leading up to finding a Jedi. We find that Jedi is Ahsoka Tano, who's not really a Jedi, but she doesn't deny it. She never says that she's not a Jedi. She's walking around with lightsabers. They're the white ones, by the way. I don't know if I said that. Also, some people had some problems with her costume design. It really wasn't that bad. It's kind of a mix between the later Clone Wars and and a little bit of Rebels. It kind of blended them. Her hair things, I can't think of what they're called. Anyway, they're kind of short for where they should be. I really didn't notice. I just saw some people talking about it online. I thought I'd bring it up. It looks fine. They wanted them short so that she could jump around and move. It's not just going to get in the way. It is what it is. She did great with the stunts. Sometimes her makeup looked a little weird. I don't know if it was just the filter that they used on it, because they used this like green grayish filter, but it kind of worked with the planet. Let's see. So yeah, some people had some problems with Ahsoka. It took a minute to like get into the role and see what she was doing with the character, but after she gets her feet under her, she does great as Ahsoka. I'm not even that big of an Ahsoka fan. No, I think she probably should have died during Order 66, but I thought that her ending in Rebels was better. That made a lot of sense. It's even before the OT, so it would be okay to not see her. But then they brought in the World Between Worlds and messed with that. It's kind of, I don't know, it kind of contradicts, canon that we've already had established. But we are where we are with Star Wars. I just want them to take baby steps to fixing it. Okay, so overall, the episode was really good. There's definitely problems in it. You know, a lot of people didn't like the name Grogu. A lot of people didn't like the Ahsoka design. You know, not to mention the Twitter crowd trying to fire Rosario Dawson and and Gina Carano, but they've been trying that for a while, and I'm very proud that Disney, like, I don't know, proud. I'm very glad that Disney hasn't bent the knee yet. Like, that's a very big accomplishment. I think I mean, at least Jon Favreau is not bowing to the Twitter crowd, to people that, you know, 90% of Twitter's thing comes from like 10 people, or 10% of the thing. But anyway, that's besides the point. It's very uplifting to see that Jon Favreau hasn't taken the knee to the Twitter crowd. You know, he's writing his own story. But so it looks like the Ahsoka spinoff is going to be Heir to the Empire, which is a story from, you know, EU. I personally haven't gotten into the EU. I'll probably read Heir to the Empire. I just found a thing from it, so I'll probably read that before Ahsoka comes out. You know, it looks like they're gonna swap Luke for Ahsoka in that. You know, there's a lot of different Jedi that they can use for, you know, who's gonna come on Typhon, which I think we're either gonna get onto Typhon probably by the end of the next episode, chapter 14, and then so here's what I think. Like, this is just my personal, like, idea. I think we're gonna finally get there. You know, and then we're probably gonna have to make a pit stop next episode, and then we're gonna get there at the end of that episode, and then that whole episode, it's gonna be him finally getting there and sitting on there, and it's gonna call every Force user in the area. I think Moff Gideon is gonna show up because they even have the tracker on there. They have those Dark Troopers hyped up. Let's see what else. You know, I don't know what other dark side users there are out there. I'm sure that there's gonna be some, like, dark Jedi or something that show up. So for the light side Jedi that Grogu could reach out to, I mean, there is Cal Kestis, but that's an EA character. I don't think that they would use Cal Kestis from a video game into The Mandalorian, because that takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So, and this takes place 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. Or, wait, I said that backwards. So Mando takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and then Fallen Order takes place 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. So you would have to age him up a lot, like a lot. I mean, there's even the question of if he even survives that. I'm pretty sure it's 5 years after Return of the Jedi or Revenge of the Sith. Anyway, so it's very unlikely that he'll be there. I think Ahsoka will realize what's happening and she'll show up. I think there's a pretty good chance that there's gonna be some sort of Luke cameo in this. I mean, we heard that there was a fight with, you know, a green lightsaber that was recorded. They seem to have stunt doubles for. I don't know if it was Mark Hamill or not, but it seems like they've recorded some sort of Luke Skywalker cameo. I don't know if we're gonna see it or not. I kind of don't want to, because I mean, I I don't want to see the sequel trilogy. I don't want to see anything about it. Uh, no, maybe use the World Between Worlds to close off the sequel trilogy. You can keep that as an Elseworld. You can keep anything like that. You can continue to build that all you want. But I I mean, I don't want to see someone who ends up on an island drinking green milk from some sea monster. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see, you know, someone that meant so much just be so like deteriorated. I don't want to see that. Um, there is the rumor that Mace Windu might come back. Again, I don't think so. I think we would have heard something if Samuel L. Jackson came on the set and recorded something. And then there's Ezra Bridger. Not to be confused with Ezra Miller Flash, but Ezra Bridger, the dude from Rebels, whom Dave Filoni said he was making, like, as soon as Rebels ended, like, the day it ended, he said he was making, like, the next one he was going to make was Ahsoka and Sabine's search for Thrawn and Ezra, because Thrawn and Ezra got launched into space by space whales. So I'm betting Ezra is going to come back and train Grogu. Because, I mean, if Luke Skywalker comes and takes him, I mean, that opens up a whole nother, a whole lot more problems. Because, like, where is he during the sequel trilogy? Did Ben Solo kill him? Did he die in the fire? Then the story isn't really important. Like, why are we wasting so much time with Mando trying to get this child somewhere when we could see him doing actual contracts, like trying to do what we thought this whole series was supposed to be? Him building his armor, him learning this lore about Mandalore. Him adding into his arsenal. You could even have the thing with him reestablishing Mandalore, because there's a lot of problems with it in Disney canon. The Empire like bombed it into like oblivion, basically. You could have him go and fight Moff Gideon and take the Darksaber and train up and have him finally be crowned Mandalore and like help his people. Like, that would be a pretty good story for a foundling going through all of that, and then in season 5, 6, 7, have it end with him being the king of Mandalore. That would be a good story, but instead we're stuck trying to find a master for Baby Yoda when we've already met a Jedi with Ahsoka, and she says no. I don't know. There's so many ways you could have taken the Mandalorian, and you just haven't. Let's see what else is there. So yeah, the costuming for this was pretty good. Like I said, Dave Filoni did do very good directing it. It was also written by him. Oh yeah, so you also see some Loth cats in this, which is another sign pointing to Ezra. It's kind of weird we haven't seen Sabine yet, because we heard that they were trying to cast her. I don't know. Maybe they didn't. Maybe it was a false rumor or something. So yeah, I think the next episode is gonna end with probably either them getting to Typhon, or with Baby Yoda sitting on the thing calling out and then the next episode is gonna be all the people getting there. Probably gonna be a huge fight. Uh, I think Ahsoka's probably gonna show up. You know, cash in on the I don't know what. He might reach out to all the people we've met this season. Maybe Boba Fett shows up because Boba Fett could be tracking him. They apparently had a Slave One cockpit made, but that might be for the Boba Fett spin-off show. And Mando still has Boba Fett's armor in his ship, so I mean, who knows? So yeah, we'll probably see Boba Fett at some point again. Hopefully. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so end with everybody showing up at the second to last episode, and then the last one. I mean, I think Moff Gideon might take Baby Yoda away, and then end with like an Empire Strikes Back feel. And then, I mean, I think Mando's gonna get beat pretty hard. There's definitely gonna be a lightsaber battle. Maybe like it might just be Moff Gideon with the dark saber attacking Mando, because they did make a point to show that the armor is lightsaber resistant. They also need to work on like showing the science of it, because that lady was holding a pole and it was touching two lightsabers for a while, and it like didn't seem to heat up. But anyway, that's just a little nitpick. So yeah, that's what I think. I think it's gonna end with there's gonna be a lightsaber battle, and then in the last two episodes, they might try and show Luke. I kind of hope not. It'd be nice to see an actual Luke Skywalker, but who knows? It might just be Ezra, or they might just invent some new name, or even just bring back all the Force ghosts. I have no idea, but I think that it's probably gonna be Ezra. Maybe Luke Skywalker shows up. Maybe Ahsoka shows up because she can sense like all the dark forces that are coming to attack Baby Yoda. And then it's probably gonna end with Moff Gideon, winning, just to like give that Empire Strikes Back feel. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the episode. Tell me what you think down below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. If I missed anything, please comment it down below. Yeah, but till next time, peace.